Hey everyone, how's it going? It is I, the real Randy Chavez, coming at you today with a Veve OMI update video. Guys, if you're new, welcome. If not, welcome back. I love you all. Everyone say hello to Dashi. Hello, Dashi. Commenting, liking, subscribing is a free way to help support the channel. Non-free ways are Patreon and smashing that super thanks button down below. Also, Wraithx.eth domain name. This is not financial advice. So, a couple things to go over today. We'll start with Brockman Blockchain saying, just your normal day filled with flying sharks, card games, and romance. And I give him like the eyes because I thought that was really interesting. And he says, I know, like romance, and he says, yes, it's nearly time for Feesh's February event. The Feeshes Love Potion number 9 coming soon. Really excited to see what that is. Thought that was pretty fun. Speaking of events happening in February, we do have the end of the Alfred Kahn, David Yu, and Dan Carruthers signed Pikachu. Funko Pop is the only one to have all three sign them. I think it's the only item ever to have all three be signed by all three. All you have to do is donate to either Best Friends Animal Society or First Responders Children's Foundation, and then email that you donated to Queenscourtcharity at gmail.com. Links are down below. And that ends on Valentine's Day. So we have a More Perfect Union saying, breaking BuzzFeed announces it will increase its use of ChatGPT to create content after cutting 12% of its workforce last month. Its stock has jumped up a staggering 146%. Chavez, why are you talking about BuzzFeed and why does that matter? It just seems to me that a lot of big tech companies are laying off thousands or tens of thousands of people, like every single one of them, with exception of Veve. Veve is going, and they're not scaling back at all. They're building. They're high, while other people are firing, Vive's hiring. Just to me, in my opinion, seems like a really good thing. I feel like a lot of people are missing that. I feel like a lot of people, let's just say that just have the OMI token. They see Bitcoin up 40% the last month or so, and OMI up 10%, and it doesn't really manage because altcoins usually do a lot more than what Bitcoin does. And fair point. Yeah, you have Gala, you have Solana, you have a lot of other things that are up 100%. But when you have Veve, a company that made $391,000 yesterday via the drop that sold out, Oswald drop, it seems to me that people are only looking at the bag half full. They see, okay, well, doesn't matter what Veve's doing. Doesn't matter they had $1 billion in sales. Doesn't matter that they had X amount of gem sales. All that matters to them is that the token's not doing well. Okay, well, we need exchanges and you need utility. Once we get those, tokens should start doing a little better. Again, just my opinion. Moving on. We have Phil Duong over on Facebook say, hey, I got 187 sets, and you're taking a look at somebody that is just also continuing to get in the I think he's in the top 500, or he might not be. Yeah, I think he's in the top 500. So I think you have to have more than 1,000 to be in the top 500 wallets. But you just have people stacking every day. People are still doing it. So I just mentioned the drop before, talking about Oswald. A lot of people were discussing whether it was like a grail or not, because David Yu did say, oh, this is a holy grail of like collectibles. And, he mentioned that on Twitter. I think people have different definition of grails. For me, definition of a grail, again, coming from Pokemon, is a trophy card. Something that costs tens of thousands of dollars and you maybe be able to have a chance at getting once in your life. If we take that definition, what are grails? Okay, maybe like a Donnie from season 1, Powerpuff Girls. Is Donnie super coveted? Is he like an amazing character that people love? No, he wasn't even in the original. He was only in like the reboot. He's weird. But again, so scarce and he's so expensive. I think the 107 James Bond ticket, the 107 Aston Martin. Now you do have other ones like that are obviously blue chip, like the partner statue, a couple grand. Spider-Man, I think, is finally over 5 figures again. The Secret Rare Spider-Man, I think, same with AF-15. Those had a couple sales and those are above $10,000 now, which is great. So yeah, those are nearing that grail status. Anything below 5 figures, like a Todd or a Riso, which I love. I definitely think they're blue chip. I just don't think it's a grail. So for this, I wouldn't consider Oswald a grail. I would consider him a blue chip. That's why he sold out. That's why the secret rares are going for like double of the original retail price. What happens for the rare? I think that'll obviously be above retail at some point. It'll just take a while. I think 5,000 of those are quite minuscule when you think of how many people are going to be on the app in the next 2 years. And also, again, Disney 100. Disney's taking Oswald and they're using him to push their 100th anniversary. Again, Disney debuts momentous lineup of global product collaborations to celebrate Disney's 100 years, doing so with Oswald. Speaking of market stability, we had somebody ask Jeremy Pidauer, saying, do you see the market of collectibles starting to decline a bit? And Jeremy says, definitely, but I believe it's also showing signs of stability. The market skyrocketed from 2019 to 2022. Then they had turbulence in 2022, and now it's showing signs of stability and I believe growth. I believe that as well. I should also mention, I'll do Earth 2 in another video. Shout out to Kyle Wilson, who is now working at Paul Barron TV. He was formerly at Alluvium, so Kyle Wilson is just, shout out to him for just being really awesome in Web3, building up that resume. And again, let's not forget, he's got that O in his name. He's the one that came up with the red circle for OMI. OMI homies really do be out there making moves. We have Mr. Squibs that had posted on Twitter, I officially picked up today my 5th AF-15 secret rare, and it's the 3rd mint. After picking up the 1st mint yesterday, I now own the 1st, 2nd, and 3rd AF-15 secret rare mints. I'm not shaking like some, but it's definitely a high, LOL. When the tides turn, will you be ready? And Dr. Prophet asked him what mints, excellent mints, what floor multiple did you pay on average? Mr. Squibs had an answer to that point in time, but that's incredible. These people are going to have so much money in the future. Even if they want to sell, you could look at this as an investment. You could look at this as just the ultimate flex. Again, this is, I think, Grail status. And when someone like Mr. Squibs or Dr. Prophet buys these, they're not going to sell for a long time because they don't need to. Illazillas goes and they posted, hey Zillas fam, we decided to stop the Element Z mint, which they were trying on OpenSea. It says, we will refund the ETH to those that minted. We will recalibrate and move on to our next planned project that is already in the works. More details tomorrow in our Discord. Thank you to all that support us. Why am I reporting on Illazillas? Because they had some issues with Veve that had, I think, been resolved. And what happens when you try to, again, you sell out on Veve, meaning that a lot of people that didn't know who you were bought it because of scarcity or bought it because, again, you're on the app, MCP points, whatever. And if you try standing on your own, a lot of these projects, a lot of these artists just won't do as well. Take a look at what Lamborghini did. Lamborghini is one of the most sickest car designs, car companies in the world. What did their NFTs do? They did crap. And what happened? Okay, well, yeah, ours did crap on the outside. Let's try Veve. When you have something like Illazillas, and I'm not comparing to Lamborghini in any way. Try it on Veve, sell out. Try it on OpenSea, not doing well. Veve does not need OpenSea. OpenSea needs Veve. You do have Puddin' Cheeks going out and say FTX was set up to fail, and Luna was always going to fail. This is what the powers wanted to happen, so they could be the hero to protect the consumer. Banks know nothing about crypto, and they are going to be in charge of informing customers. This comes where he shares an article saying the administration's roadmap to mitigate cryptocurrencies, risks, etc. Government's usually the last to know things. They're usually quite behind on the times. So for me, if someone that I cared about says, hey, Chavez, who do I learn about crypto from? Who's like the best at mitigating risk? I would say talk to some of the smartest people that have been here for a while. Crypto Rain's been here for a long time. Dr. Prophet's been here for a long time. Even himself, Puddin' Cheek's been here for a while. So I would recommend any of those guys, any of myself, before listening to anything that the government would be saying. That's just my opinion. And when I mentioned before that David mentioned this is a Holy Grail set, we had Wes, good old Wes, who's a member. Join, be a member. Link down below. He said this collectible set is a Holy Grail, so he got the set. And then Akomi had retweeted saying, nice work, fam. I think this is pretty legit. Speaking of sets and speaking of stuff that David has teased, Veve had said yesterday, Thor the Dark World, Dr. Jane Foster, is teleported to another world and absorbs a weapon known as the Aether, setting off a chain of events and a catastrophic prophecy. The 5th Infinity Stone artifact drops Monday, January 30th, 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time. I'm not 100% sure what the mints are. We should know probably later today. But for this, I will say, and I've told people before, it's public information. I've said this probably a dozen times, but in case people missed it, when I asked David about the Infinity Stones in San Diego Comic-Con last July, when the Tesseract was coming out, I said, oh, hey, David, you're releasing a couple of these Infinity Stones, and one of them at Comic-Con, when we have the gauntlet right there, all of these 6 stones here. Is that a coincidence? And David looks at me like, we don't release stuff like this for no reason, Randy. And I was like, so again, you could interpret that a way that, hey, we're just riding the wave of the Infinity Gauntlet being presented there with all those gems. I think everything was like $28 million or something that Marvel had procured those gems inside the Infinity Gauntlet. And you could make the argument that, or you could say that, hey, what's going to happen when you collect all 6 stones? And how will you collect the 6th stone? How will you collect that soul stone? Is it a soul for a soul? Are we going to get a Black Widow collectible that we could burn, or a Gamora collectible that we could burn in order to get the soul stone? I don't know, but I'm very, very excited about it. Comment down below if you have the Infinity Stones, or if you're going to get them or collect them all. I'm very, very curious. And as soon as this happened, the secret rare Eye of Agamotto went from like 300 to like 500. It settled back down now at 400, but it did increase quite a lot at first. I thought that was pretty dope. Okay, we had a Veve video. I forget his name, saying, Veve, I want my money back, talking about refunds. And then we did have a fake Alex, I believe, saying we will never give refunds and we can be as slow as we want. 2023 could be a year of just all drops. We have a machine, we'll sell it regardless. Yeah, that's definitely a fake Alex. When you see this Alex Gonzalez, because there are 2 of them over on the YouTube. One is real, one is fake. A good way to tell is that the fake one does not have the Don't AMA playlist over on their profile. So I'm just keeping y'all posted. If you see that, take a check, because it may or may not be him. Moving on. We have Sean Gaunt, who over on the Facebook says, me. Who the F is Oswald? Also me. C-Pix, where he buys all the Oswald drops. Like, this is a person that did not know who Oswald was and decided to go ham and probably spend a couple $100 on these. Why does that matter? Like I said before, like with the Illazillas, if you're on Veve, you could not know who the character is. You could not know what any of these things are, and you'll buy them just because, for the gamble, for the thrill, gotta collect them all. Yeah, this is with just 18,000 active wallets in the last week. It was going to be like when you have 1 million on here. Insane. And Being Real With You has collected his 100th set. His 100th set was Oswald. Thought that was pretty cool. Okomi says, amazing way to hit the century mark. Veve had updated us saying, nothing, heads up, Veve fam, nothing this weekend, but we'll come back at it next week with some great drops, a community update video, and more. And Big J had said, I was hoping this was a reminder about to merge accounts, and Veve Digital Collectibles says, we got you. They had posted that link as well, what you need to know about merging accounts. Yeah, so the community update video is it might even be filmed as we speak. Might have been filmed already, but next week we should get it, hopefully before the 1st. We'll see what happens. Somebody had shared Foster Hilt's status from like November of last year, saying, well, herein will be known the day that OMI token changed forever. Before utility, after utility, says I am ready. And somebody says, we won't even sniff utility this year. Reese made that crystal clear. We're waiting on lawsuits and regulations. Hope I'm wrong. Putting cheeks with the correction, saying the utility of the circulating user-owned tokens has nothing to do with any lawsuits. This person that had shared this status was regurgitating this from somebody else that I won't say their name, basically saying that we're not going to have utility until the lawsuits are over. So I'm making this clear, or Puddin' Cheeks is making this clear. The utility of the circulating user-owned tokens has nothing to do with any lawsuits. End quote. Moving on. Speaking of Foster Hill, he goes out and says, delays are frustrating and they hurt the growth of a project. However, nothing does more damage than unrealistic and misguided expectations of what the project is looking to accomplish. Once you truly understand what is being built, the journey becomes an adventure. Enjoy it. And, yeah, moving on. Another reason why people would not mind paying, what do people have? They're selling their Oswalds for like $33. It's like almost half of retail. Let me tell you why I think that's silly. Because you can buy a Givenchy Oswald hoodie for $3,600, or you could buy the first ever appearance on the blockchain. Like, a hoodie will get damaged. A hoodie will get dog hair on it. Your girlfriend will steal it. They won't give it back. And so many clothes over the years. Sorry. You have that, and that's $3,600. That is literally 100x of what the physical first appearance is going for on the blockchain. That won't degrade. Nobody's going to steal it. It's not going to get damaged. And it's animated. It moves. It has sound. I think people selling their Oswalds for 30-something gems are silly. I think that's ludicrous. Anyway, that's just my opinion on that. Anyway, guys, that's it for me today. I might make another video later. I might go live. I don't know. But comment, like, and subscribe. Comments are good for the YouTube algorithm. Everyone say bye-bye to Dashi. Bye-bye, Dashi. I love you guys. Bye-bye. Meow, 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 meow.